the tree and noticed a pile of leaves covering a small opening in the ground. Clearing the leaves away, she found a narrow path leading underground. Without hesitation, she stepped onto the path and followed it. The path led to a clearing where a stone bridge spanned a bubbling brook. On the bridge stood a small, golden key in a riddle carved into the stone. To cross the bridge and pass the test, find what is light yet holds the greatest weight. Iris thought for a moment. Then she smiled and said, "A promise." As soon as she spoke, the brook's bubbling quieted, and the golden key floated into her hand. The bridge glowed with a warm light, allowing her to cross safely. She knew this was the first trial, and she had passed it. As Iris continued her journey, she found herself at the base of a steep hill, with the next trial written on a stone tablet. To climb this hill, you must give what you cannot see but feel within. Iris sat down and thought deeply. She remembered her grandmother's stories and the love she felt whenever her grandmother held her close. "It's love," Iris whispered. The moment she spoke, the path up the hill became clear, and a gentle breeze carried her up to the top. She had passed the second trial. At the top of the hill, Iris found herself standing before a shimmering waterfall. The water sparkled like crystal, and a voice echoed from the depths, "To enter the fountain and meet Celestia, you must sing a song that brings hope to those who hear it." Iris took a deep breath and began to sing. She sang of the beauty of colors, the joy they brought, and the hope of seeing them again. Her voice was pure and filled with her longing to bring happiness back to her kingdom. As she sang, the waterfall parted, revealing a hidden cave behind it. Iris stepped inside and found herself in a magnificent chamber. At the center of the chamber stood the fountain of colors, its waters swirling with every shade imaginable. Beside the fountain stood Celestia, the sorceress, her robes glimmering with all the colors of the rainbow. "You have done well, Iris," Celestia said, smiling warmly. "Your courage, love, and hope have proven you worthy. The colors shall be restored, but remember, they must be cherished and never taken for granted again." With a wave of her hand, Celestia summoned a golden chalice and dipped it into the fountain. She handed the chalice to Iris. "Take this and pour it into the river that flows through Chromia. The colors will return to the world." Iris thanked Celestia and hurried back to her village. As she reached the river's edge, she poured the water from the chalice into the flowing stream. Instantly, a ripple of color spread from the water, rushing through the village and across the fields. The sky turned a brilliant blue, flowers burst into bloom in every color, and rainbows arched across the sky. The people of Chromia rejoiced, dancing and celebrating the return of the colors. Iris was hailed as a hero, and the story of her bravery and the restoration of the colors was told and retold for generations. The kingdom flourished in joy and beauty, always remembering the importance of love, courage, and hope. And so, in the kingdom of Chromia, colors never faded again, for they were cherished by all who lived there, thanks to the brave heart of a young girl named Iris who believed in the magic of dreams and the power of a promise. The end. Once upon a time, in a serene village called Moonhaven, nestled between emerald hills and silvery lakes, there was a tradition that the villagers held dear. Every year, on the night of the harvest moon, they would light a lantern and release it into the sky. This lantern, known as the Midnight Lantern, was believed to carry their wishes to the stars. Among the villagers was a young boy named Finn. Finn was kind-hearted and curious, with a deep fascination for the stars. He had always listened to the tales of the Midnight Lantern but had never seen one sent to the heavens. This year, however, Finn was determined to make a wish for something very special. His beloved grandmother, who was wise and gentle, had fallen ill, and he wished for her recovery. As the harvest moon approached, the village bustled with preparations. Lanterns were crafted with care, adorned with intricate patterns and vibrant colors. Finn worked tirelessly on his lantern, decorating it with images of stars, moons, and a small heart at the center. He wrote his wish on a delicate piece of parchment and placed it inside the lantern. On the night of the harvest moon, the village gathered in the meadow to release their lanterns. The moon shone brightly, casting a magical glow over the land. One by one, the lanterns were lit, and their warm, golden lights floated gently into the sky. The air was filled with whispers of hope and dreams. When it was Finn's turn, he held his lantern close to his heart. With a silent prayer for his grandmother, he lit the lantern and watched as it began its ascent. The lantern floated upward, its light shimmering against the dark, velvet sky. But as it rose higher, a sudden gust of wind swept it off course, sending it drifting towards the dense forest at the edge of the village. Finn's heart sank as he saw his lantern veer off track. Determined to retrieve it, he set off into the forest, guided only by the soft glow of the moon. The forest was thick with ancient trees and tangled undergrowth, but Finn pressed on, following the flickering light of his lantern. As he ventured deeper, the moonlight began to fade, replaced by an otherworldly glow that seemed to emanate from the heart of the forest. Finn approached cautiously and found himself standing before a hidden grove bathed in a soft, blue light. In the center of the grove stood a magnificent, ancient tree with silver bark and shimmering leaves. It was the Tree of Whispers, a legendary tree said to possess magical properties. To Finn's amazement, his lantern was gently resting on a bed of moss beneath the tree. As he reached out to retrieve it, the tree's leaves rustled, and a soft voice spoke. "Welcome, young dreamer. I am the guardian of the Tree of Whispers. You have ventured far to recover your lantern. What is it that you seek?" Finn, though surprised, gathered his courage. "I wish for my grandmother to get better. She is very ill, and I want to bring her back to health." The guardian's eyes, which sparkled like distant stars, softened. "A noble wish indeed. To grant it, I must ask for a small favor in return. The Midnight Lantern is a bridge between dreams and reality. To restore balance and ensure your wish is fulfilled, you must perform an act of selflessness within this grove." Finn nodded, eager to help. The guardian pointed to a nearby pool of crystal-clear water, where a small, injured creature, a delicate moonlight deer with a wounded wing, lay resting. "This creature is in need of healing. If you help it, the magic of the lantern will be fully restored." Without hesitation, Finn approached the moonlight deer. He gently tended to its wound with a cloth from his satchel and offered it water from the crystal pool. He sang softly to soothe the creature, and his kindness seemed to make the grove itself brighten with warmth. The moonlight deer's wing began to heal, and it looked up at Finn with grateful eyes. The guardian, observing with approval, smiled. "You have shown great compassion and bravery. The magic of the Midnight Lantern will now be amplified." With a wave of the guardian's hand, the lantern glowed brighter than ever. Finn took it carefully and thanked the guardian. As he made his way back to the village, the lantern floated beside him, its light guiding him through the forest. When Finn returned to Moonhaven, the villagers gathered around, awestruck by the sight of the lantern's radiant glow. Finn placed the lantern gently on the ground and watched as it ascended once more into the sky, its light mingling with the stars. The next morning, Finn's grandmother began to recover. Her strength returned, and her smile was brighter than ever. The village rejoiced, grateful for the miracle. From that day forward, Finn's story became a cherished legend in Moonhaven, a tale of courage, kindness, and the magic of selfless wishes. The Midnight Lantern continued to light up the sky every harvest moon, reminding everyone that even the smallest act of kindness could shine as brightly as the stars. Once upon a time, nestled between rolling hills and the sparkling river, there lay a quaint village named Eldergrove. Eldergrove was renowned for its enchanting forests, lush meadows, and most importantly, the Whispering Willow, an ancient tree said to hold the wisdom of ages. Its silver leaves shimmered in the moonlight, and the villagers believed it could grant one wish every century to those pure of heart. The Whispering Willow stood at the edge of the village, its gnarled branches reaching out like welcoming arms. Its roots were deeply entwined with the land, and its presence brought comfort and serenity to all who came near. One spring, a terrible drought struck Eldergrove. The river's flow diminished, crops failed, and the once vibrant meadows turned brown. The villagers, desperate to save their beloved home, turned to the Whispering Willow, hoping it would grant them a wish to restore their land. But when they arrived at the tree, they found that it was weak and wilted. Its leaves were turning gray, and its once melodious whispers had become faint. The ancient magic of the Whispering Willow was fading, and without its strength, Eldegrove's fate seemed grim. Among the villagers was a young girl named Eliana. Eliana was known for her kindness and her love for nature. She had often spent time sitting under the Whispering Willow, listening to its stories and feeling its soothing presence. Determined to save both the tree and her village, Eliana decided to embark on a quest to find out what had caused the tree's decline and how to restore its magic. Her journey began at dawn. Eliana ventured into the heart of the forest, where she sought the advice of the creatures that lived there. She spoke with a wise old owl named Orin, who told her of an ancient prophecy: when the Whispering Willow fades, a heart of pure intent must seek the hidden crystal of light to restore its magic. Orin explained that the crystal was hidden deep within the Cavern of Echoes, a mystical cave located at the mountain's base. The cavern was said to be protected by magical enchantments and guarded by a fierce, yet misunderstood creature named Raxer. With a map given by Orin and her own unyielding courage, Eliana set out for the cavern. As she approached the mountain, she encountered a dense fog that obscured her path. The fog was a magical barrier meant to test her resolve. Remembering the stories she'd heard from the Whispering Willow, Eliana whispered her wish for her village's prosperity and the tree's revival, allowing her heart's purity to guide her through the fog. Upon reaching the Cavern of Echoes, Eliana stood before a massive stone door engraved with intricate runes. To open it, she had to solve a riddle that resonated through the cave: I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I? Eliana thought deeply. Her mind wandered through the myriad of possibilities until she came to the answer: a joke. The door creaked open, revealing a shimmering pathway leading deeper into the cavern. As she ventured further, Eliana reached a grand chamber where Raxer, a large, dragon-like creature with shimmering scales and gentle eyes, awaited her. Raxer's growls echoed through the cavern, and Eliana felt a moment of fear. But she remembered the stories of old, which spoke of Raxer's true nature, a guardian bound by duty but longing for understanding. With a brave heart, Eliana approached Raxer, speaking calmly and respectfully. I seek the crystal of light to save the Whispering Willow and my village. I do not wish to harm or disturb you, but to restore the balance and save what is precious to me. Raxer's eyes softened, and the growls ceased. The creature, touched by Eliana's sincere words, revealed the hidden crystal of light, nestled in a glowing alcove. It was a magnificent gem that radiated warmth and purity. You have proven your worthiness, Raxer said. The crystal is yours. Use it wisely. Eliana thanked Raxer and carefully carried the crystal back to Eldegrove. As she approached the Whispering Willow, she held the crystal aloft, and its light began to illuminate the tree. The once fading leaves of the Whispering Willow sparkled with renewed vigor, and the magic of the tree surged back into life. The river began to flow once more, the crops revived, and the meadows turned green and lush. The villagers rejoiced as their home was restored to its former glory, and they celebrated Eliana's bravery and dedication. The Whispering Willow, now vibrant and full of life, resumed its gentle whispers, sharing tales of hope and wisdom. Eliana's quest became a cherished story in Eldegrove, a reminder of the power of a pure heart and the importance of courage and compassion. And so, Eldegrove thrived under the renewed magic of the Whispering Willow, forever illuminated by the light of the crystal and the legacy of a young girl who saved her village with bravery and kindness. Once upon a time, in a quaint village bordered by rolling meadows and misty mountains, there was a legend about a magical bridge that appeared only once every 100 years. This was no ordinary bridge. It was said to be woven from starlight and could only be seen under the light of the full moon. The bridge led to a realm known as the Dream Realm, where dreams were crafted and wishes came true. In the village lived a young boy named Leo, known for his boundless curiosity and kind heart. Leo had always been enchanted by the stories of the Starlit Bridge and the Dream Weaver who resided in the Dream Realm. The villagers spoke of the Dream Weaver with great reverence, claiming that she had the power to turn dreams into reality and that her realm was a place of wonder and magic. As the full moon approached, Leo felt a deep desire to see the Starlit Bridge and uncover the truth of the Dream Realm. On the night of the full moon, he ventured out of his cozy home, his heart racing with excitement. The first challenge, the moonlit garden. As Leo reached the edge of the village, he found himself in a moonlit garden filled with flowers that glowed softly in the night. The garden was enchanting, but it was also filled with a maze of twisting paths. At the center of the garden stood a shimmering figure, a fairy who introduced herself as Seraphina. To find the starlit bridge, Seraphina said, you must navigate the moonlit garden. Follow the path of light that the flowers reveal. Beware, for the paths may twist and turn, and only those with true intent can find their way. Leo thanked Seraphina and began his journey through the garden. He followed the glowing flowers, which seemed to guide him with their soft, ethereal light. The paths did indeed twist and turn, but Leo remained focused and determined. Eventually, he reached the end of the maze, where a silvery mist parted to reveal the starlit bridge in all its splendor. The second challenge, the Bridge of Stars. The starlit bridge was a breathtaking sight, an elegant structure made entirely of shimmering stardust, spanning across a vast, starry chasm. As Leo stepped onto the bridge, he noticed that it seemed to hum with a soft, melodic tune. At the halfway point of the bridge stood a mysterious figure cloaked in a robe of midnight blue. This was the Dream Weaver, a wise and graceful being with eyes that sparkled like the night sky. To cross the Bridge of Stars, the Dream Weaver spoke, you must solve the riddle of the stars. Only those who understand the true nature of dreams may pass. The Dream Weaver presented Leo with a riddle, I am born in the night, yet never seen by the day. I am the source of all dreams, but I never fade away. What am I? Leo thought deeply about the riddle. He remembered stories of the dream realm and the nature of dreams. After a moment, he realized the answer was a star. As Leo spoke the answer aloud, the bridge began to glow brighter, and the path ahead was illuminated with a warm, welcoming light. The Dream Weaver smiled and gestured for Leo to continue. The third challenge, the Realm of Dreams. As Leo crossed the bridge, he entered the dream realm, a fantastical world filled with floating islands, shimmering lakes, and sparkling trees. At the heart of the realm was a grand palace made of crystal and light. Inside the palace, Leo found the Dream Weaver in a chamber filled with swirling dreams and glowing orbs. The Dream Weaver welcomed Leo and said, you have shown courage and wisdom. Now, to complete your journey, you must show compassion and selflessness. To enter the heart of the dream realm, you must help a dream in need. In the chamber, Leo noticed a small, faded dream trapped inside a crystal orb. The dream appeared forlorn and dim, as if it had lost its magic. The Dream Weaver explained that this dream had once been vibrant and full of hope but needed a kind heart to restore its light. Leo gently touched the orb and wished with all his heart for the dream to be restored. He thought of his own dreams and hopes, and as he did, the orb began to glow brightly, filling the chamber with a radiant light. The dream was revived, and the Dream Weaver beamed with joy. You have done a wonderful thing, Leo. Your compassion has restored the dream's light and proved your worth. The magic of the dream realm is now yours to carry. The Dream Weaver presented Leo with a small, crystal vial containing a shimmering stardust. This vial holds the essence of the dream realm. It will allow you to bring a touch of magic and wonder into your own world. Leo thanked the Dream Weaver and bid farewell to the dream realm. As he crossed back over the starlit bridge, the bridge began to fade, its magic returning to the night sky. Returning to his village, Leo shared his adventure with the villagers. The story of the starlit bridge and the Dream Weaver became a cherished tale, inspiring others to follow their dreams and believe in the magic of their hearts. Leo kept the vial of stardust close, and it served as a reminder of the wonders he had witnessed and the lessons he had learned. The village, touched by his story, celebrated the magic of dreams and the beauty of the unknown. And so, the legend of the Starlit Bridge and the Dream Weaver continued to inspire generations, a testament to the power of courage, wisdom, and compassion in the pursuit of dreams. Once upon a time, in a peaceful village surrounded by rolling hills and serene lakes, lived a young girl named Lyra. Lyra was known throughout the village for her kindness and curiosity. She loved to explore the nearby forests and meadows, always hoping to discover something magical. One sunny afternoon, while wandering through the forest, Lyra stumbled upon a hidden grove she had never seen before. In the center of the grove stood an ancient, ornate mirror framed in silver and gold. The mirror's surface was covered in a shimmering mist, and its frame was adorned with intricate carvings of mystical creatures and flowers. Lyra felt a strange pull towards the mirror and, despite her curiosity, hesitated for a moment before reaching out to touch it. As her fingers brushed the surface, the mist swirled and the mirror's reflection changed. Instead of Lyra's familiar face, she saw a glimpse of a grand, forgotten kingdom, bathed in golden light. The image was mesmerizing, a land of towering castles, lush gardens, and sparkling rivers. But the reflection was fleeting, and soon it faded, leaving only the misty surface behind. Determined to uncover the mystery of the mirror, Lyra decided to take it home. She carefully transported it back to her village, hiding it in her small attic. That night, as she lay in bed, she couldn't stop thinking about the mirror and the kingdom it had shown her. She had a feeling that there was something more to the mirror, something waiting to be discovered. The next morning, Lyra went to the village elder, a wise woman named Mélisse, to seek her advice. Mélisse had lived in the village for many years and knew a great deal about the history and legends of the land. When Lyra described the mirror and the vision she had seen, Mélisse's eyes widened in recognition. "Ah, the enchanted mirror," Mélisse said thoughtfully. "Legend has it that this mirror was once the gateway to a magical kingdom called Luminera. Luminera was a place of great beauty and wonder, but it vanished from the world long ago, leaving only tales and whispers behind. The mirror was said to hold the key to finding the kingdom and restoring it to its former glory." Lyra's heart raced with excitement. "Do you think it's possible to find Luminera?" she asked eagerly. Mélisse nodded. "It is said that to reach Luminera, one must undertake a quest to prove their bravery, wisdom, and kindness. The mirror will guide you, but you must be prepared for the challenges ahead." With newfound determination, Lyra set out on her quest. The mirror's surface began to glow softly, guiding her towards the enchanted forest. As she journeyed deeper into the forest, she encountered her first challenge, a wide, treacherous chasm with a narrow, wobbly bridge made of vines and branches. Standing at the edge of the chasm, Lyra felt a surge of fear. But then she remembered Mélisse's words and took a deep breath. She carefully stepped onto the bridge, focusing on her balance and studying her nerves. As she moved across, the bridge creaked and swayed. But Lyra's determination and calm heart guided her safely to the other side. Her next challenge came in the form of a dark, winding cave. Inside, she found herself face to face with a mischievous fairy named Trix. Trix was known for her trickery and riddles. "To pass through my cave," Trix said with a twinkle in her eye, "you must solve my riddle." Lyra listened carefully as Trix recited her riddle. "I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Lyra thought for a moment, recalling all the stories and puzzles she had heard in her village. "The answer is a joke," she said confidently. Trix clapped her tiny hands in delight. "You are correct. You may pass through the cave." As Lyra continued her journey, she encountered her final challenge, a vast, enchanted garden filled with vibrant, magical flowers. In the center of the garden was a majestic phoenix, perched atop a pedestal. The phoenix was covered in brilliant red and gold feathers, and its eyes shone with ancient wisdom. To enter the kingdom of Luminera, the phoenix spoke. "You must show your kindness by caring for the garden. Only then will the way be revealed." Lyra noticed that the garden was overgrown and some flowers were wilting. Without hesitation, she set to work, tending to each plant with care and love. She watered the flowers, pruned the branches, and nurtured the garden back to its former glory. The phoenix watched in approval, its eyes softening with each act of kindness. When the garden was restored, the phoenix flapped its wings and soared into the sky. A magical door appeared at the far end of the garden, bathed in a warm, golden light. The door creaked open, revealing a breathtaking land of sparkling rivers, lush forests, and magnificent castles. Lyra stepped through the door and found herself in the heart of Luminera. The kingdom was even more beautiful than she had imagined. The people of Luminera, who had been waiting for someone to restore their land, greeted her with joy and gratitude. They told her that the kingdom had faded from the world because its magic had been lost. But now, with Lyra's bravery, wisdom, and kindness, the kingdom was revived and its magic restored. The rulers of Luminera, a wise king and queen, honored Lyra with a golden crown and a place of honor in their court. They invited her to stay and become a part of their world, but Lyra knew her place was back in her village. Before she left, the king and queen gifted Lyra a small, enchanted locket that held a piece of Luminera's magic. The locket would allow her to visit the kingdom whenever she wished and keep its magic alive in her heart. With a heavy heart but a spirit full of joy, Lyra returned to her village. She shared her incredible adventure with everyone, and the village flourished with newfound hope and wonder. The enchanted mirror remained a cherished relic, a reminder of the bravery and kindness that had restored a lost kingdom. Lyra's adventures became legendary, and she continued to explore and discover new wonders, always carrying the magic of Luminera with her. She lived a life full of joy, knowing that even the smallest of hearts could accomplish great things. And so, Lyra and her village lived happily ever after, with the magic of Luminera shining brightly in their lives. The end. Once upon a time, in a realm of rolling hills and serene forests, there was a village called Rivermoor. Rivermoor was a place where the land thrived with vibrant colors, and the river that meandered through it sparkled like liquid silver under the sunlight. The villagers lived in harmony with nature and were known for their kindness and generosity. In this village lived a clever and adventurous boy named Finn. Finn loved exploring the forests and meadows surrounding Rivermoor, always on the lookout for hidden secrets and forgotten tales. One day, while wandering through a particularly dense part of the forest, Finn stumbled upon an old, moss-covered book partially buried beneath a fallen tree. Excitedly, Finn brushed off the dirt and carefully opened the book. Inside were pages filled with elegant, swirling script and beautiful illustrations of fantastical creatures. Among the illustrations was a silver fox, its eyes glinting with a mysterious light. The text next to the fox read, "To find the secret of the silver fox. Follow its trail where the moonlight falls, and the answer will be revealed and the night is still and the forest calls." Intrigued, Finn decided to seek out this legendary fox and uncover the secret mentioned in the book. That evening, as the full moon began to rise, he set out into the forest with the book in hand, guided by the moonlight. The forest was bathed in a silvery glow, and the shadows danced gently on the ground. Finn followed the path outlined in the book, moving deeper into the forest where the trees seemed to whisper ancient secrets. The air was crisp and cool, and the only sound was the soft rustling of leaves. After a while, Finn reached a small clearing where the moonlight shone directly onto a large, flat stone. On the stone was an intricate pattern of runes and symbols, and at its center was a silver pendant shaped like a fox. The pendant sparkled under the moonlight, casting a gentle, mesmerizing light. Finn reached out and picked up the pendant. As he held it, he felt a warm, comforting energy flow through him. The pendant seemed to hum with life, and Finn could feel that it was connected to something greater. Suddenly, a soft rustling sound came from the edge of the clearing, and a magnificent silver fox appeared from the shadows. Its fur gleamed with a soft, ethereal light, and its eyes held a deep, knowing gaze. "Greetings, brave Finn," the fox spoke in a melodious voice. "I am the guardian of this pendant and the keeper of the secret it holds." Finn was amazed. "You're the silver fox from the book. What is the secret you guard?" The fox smiled gently. "The secret of the silver fox is not just in the pendant, but in the heart of those who seek it. This pendant has the power to reveal the true nature of anyone who wears it. It shows not only who they are, but also who they could become." Finn looked at the pendant thoughtfully. "What does it reveal about me?" The silver fox's eyes twinkled. "To understand its true nature, you must first understand your own heart. The pendant will show you the path you are meant to take and the strengths you possess." With a nod, Finn placed the pendant around his neck. As soon as he did, the pendant glowed brightly, and a soft light surrounded him. Images began to appear in the light, visions of Finn helping others, exploring new lands, and discovering hidden wonders. It showed him as a leader, a friend, and a protector. The Silver Fox continued, "The pendant reveals that you have a heart full of courage and kindness. It shows that your greatest strength lies in your ability to inspire and help those around you. Use this gift wisely, and always remember to follow your heart." Finn was filled with a sense of purpose and gratitude. "Thank you, Silver Fox. I will use this gift to help others and make a difference in the world." The Silver Fox nodded approvingly. Remember, the magic of the pendant is not just in its light, but in the actions and choices of the one who wears it. Go forth and be a beacon of hope and kindness. With that, the Silver Fox vanished into the forest, and the pendant's light dimmed to a soft, steady glow. Finn returned to Rivermore, carrying with him not just a magical pendant, but a renewed sense of purpose. Over the years, Finn used the pendant's guidance to help his village and beyond. He became known for his wisdom, bravery, and compassion. The pendant remained a symbol of his journey and the magic that lies within the heart of those who dare to follow their dreams. And so, Rivermore flourished under Finn's leadership, and the tale of the Silver Fox became a cherished story passed down through generations, a reminder that the greatest secrets are often found within ourselves. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a tranquil valley surrounded by emerald hills and shimmering lakes, there was a small village named Brookhaven. The village was known for its serenity and the magnificent Whispering Willow, a grand tree that stood at the heart of the village. This ancient willow was said to have the power to grant a single wish to anyone who could uncover its secret. The villagers revered the Whispering Willow for its calming presence, and its branches seemed to hum with ancient melodies on breezy days. However, the true secret of the tree remained a mystery to all. Each year, the villagers celebrated the Willow Festival, hoping that someone might discover the tree's hidden magic. Among the villagers was a curious and kind-hearted young girl named Amelia. Amelia loved listening to the stories about the Whispering Willow and dreamed of one day learning its secret. She lived with her grandmother, who had once been a renowned healer but now was too frail to travel far. Amelia often wished for a way to restore her grandmother's strength and vitality. One crisp autumn evening, as the Willow Festival approached, Amelia decided it was time to uncover the Whispering Willow's secret. With a determined heart, she set out toward the tree, guided by the soft glow of lanterns that adorned the village. As Amelia approached the Whispering Willow, she noticed its branches seemed to sway in a gentle, rhythmic pattern, almost as if they were beckoning her. She touched the rough bark and whispered, "Please, let me know your secret." A soft, melodic voice emerged from the tree. "To discover my secret, you must complete 3 tasks that reveal the truth of your heart. Only then will the magic be yours." Amelia's heart raced with excitement. She was ready to undertake the tasks. The Whispering Willow's voice continued, "The first task is the task of reflection. Seek the Mirror Lake and look within." Following the willow's guidance, Amelia made her way to Mirror Lake, a serene pond nestled in a hidden glen. The lake's surface was perfectly still, reflecting the sky and trees like a polished mirror. Amelia peered into the water and saw not only her reflection but also glimpses of her grandmother's face, filled with both happiness and concern. In the reflection, a riddle appeared, written in shimmering letters. To find the truth, one must see past the surface and understand what lies beneath. Amelia closed her eyes and thought deeply about her grandmother, her own dreams, and her true intentions. When she opened her eyes, she saw that the water had cleared, revealing a hidden path leading to a small, ancient door at the edge of the lake. Amelia approached the door and found a key hanging on a nearby branch, inscribed with the word, "Compassion." She took the key and continued on her journey. The second task was the task of harmony. Amelia arrived at the Glade of Echoes, where the sounds of the forest created a dissonant cacophony. In the center of the glade stood a large, ornate music box, but its mechanism was broken, and the music was out of tune. To restore harmony, Amelia had to fix the music box by aligning its gears and tuning its strings. She listened to the natural sounds around her, the chirping of birds, the rustling of leaves, and used these natural melodies to guide her. With patience and care, she repaired the music box, and a beautiful, harmonious melody filled the glade. As the music played, the dissonant sounds faded away, and the path to the final task was revealed. The third task, the task of courage, led Amelia to the enchanted cavern, a dark and mysterious cave filled with shimmering crystals. In the center of the cavern was a pedestal with a glowing lantern. Next to it was another inscription: "To uncover the secret, you must light the way through your fears." Amelia took a deep breath and approached the lantern. She felt a chill of fear but reminded herself of her love for her grandmother and her desire to help her. Summoning her courage, she lit the lantern with a small flame she carried and held it high. The cavern's walls illuminated, revealing a hidden passage. At the end of the passage was a grand chamber. And in the center stood an ancient, intricately carved chest. Amelia opened the chest to find a radiant crystal and a final note. The note read, "The Whispering Willow's magic is not in its power but in the truth of your heart. By showing compassion, harmony, and courage, you have unlocked the true magic." Amelia understood the message. The Whispering Willow's magic was a reflection of her own qualities. With the crystal in hand, she returned to the village, where the willow's branches swayed gently as if welcoming her back. Amelia placed the crystal at the base of the Whispering Willow. The tree's branches shimmered with a golden light, and a soft breeze carried a soothing melody through the air. The magic of the tree seemed to embrace the entire village, filling it with warmth and joy. Amelia's grandmother, touched by the magic, regained her strength and vitality. The village celebrated the newfound energy and joy that the Whispering Willow had brought. The tree's secret was not just in granting wishes but in the reminder that the greatest magic comes from within oneself. And so, Windmere thrived with the spirit of the Whispering Willow, and Amelia's bravery and kindness became a cherished story for generations to come. Once upon a time, in a tranquil kingdom surrounded by lush forests and sparkling rivers, there was a magical realm known for its beautiful birds. Among them was the rare silver feather, a mythical bird said to possess extraordinary powers and grant one heartfelt wish to anyone who could find it. In a small village at the edge of the kingdom, there lived a young girl named Elara. Elara was kind and brave, always helping her neighbors with their troubles. Her family was poor, but they were rich in love and kindness. Elara's greatest wish was to improve the lives of those around her and bring prosperity to her struggling village. One day, a severe winter hit the kingdom, bringing with it an unusually harsh frost. The crops failed, and the villagers were growing anxious. Remembering the legend of the silver feather, Elara decided to set out on a quest to find the mythical bird and make a wish that could save her village. The quest begins early one morning. Elara prepared for her journey. She packed a small bag with essentials, a warm cloak, some bread, and a flask of water. Her mother gave her a silver locket for good luck, a family heirloom that had been passed down through generations. With a hopeful heart, Elara ventured into the forest, guided by the tales of the silver feather. As she walked deeper into the forest, Elara came across a wise old tortoise named Thaddeus, who was known for his knowledge of the enchanted woods. Thaddeus was resting on a moss-covered rock, basking in the weak winter sunlight. "Good day, Thaddeus," Elara greeted him respectfully. "I'm on a quest to find the silver feather. Can you help me?" Thaddeus looked at Elara with wise, kind eyes. "The silver feather is a difficult treasure to find," he said. "It is said to dwell in the heart of the Whispering Glade. But first, you must overcome 3 trials that test the purity of your heart." The first trial, the frosted lake. Elara followed Thaddeus's directions to a frozen lake surrounded by tall, snow-covered trees. The ice was thick and treacherous, and Elara had to cross it to continue her quest. As she stepped onto the ice, it began to crack and groan. In the middle of the lake, she spotted a riddle carved into the ice: "I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I?" Elara thought carefully and then answered aloud, "Fire." With her answer, the ice beneath her feet stopped cracking, and a narrow path appeared, leading her safely to the other side. The first trial was complete. The second trial, The enchanted grove. Elara soon arrived at a grove filled with glowing, magical flowers. The grove was beautiful but bewildering. The flowers seemed to hum and dance in the cold wind, creating a maze of shimmering petals. A sign in the center of the grove read, "To pass through, you must find the path of light. Follow the song that leads to the heart." Elara listened closely to the harmonious melody of the flowers and followed the softest, most enchanting tune. As she walked, the flowers seemed to part, guiding her through the maze until she reached the center of the grove. There, a small, sparkling key lay on a pedestal. The third trial, the guardian of the Whispering Glade. Elara continued her journey and finally reached the Whispering Glade, a serene, mystical place with tall trees that seemed to whisper secrets. In the center of the glade stood a majestic, ancient tree with a face carved into its trunk. The tree was the guardian of the glade. "Welcome, Elara," the guardian spoke in a deep, gentle voice. "You have completed the trials, but now you must show that your wish is truly selfless." Elara approached the guardian and spoke from her heart. "My wish is not for myself but for my village. I want to bring prosperity and warmth to those who are suffering from the harsh winter." The guardian listened intently and then nodded. "Your heart is pure, and your wish is selfless. The silver feather will grant your wish, but remember that true magic lies in the kindness you show others." The silver feather appears as the guardian spoke. A soft, shimmering light filled the glade. The silver feather appeared, its plumage sparkling like moonlight on fresh snow. The bird flew gracefully towards Elara, and she reached out, carefully taking the feather in her hand. The moment she held the silver feather, a warm, golden light enveloped the entire Whispering Glade. Elara felt a rush of joy and relief as the magic of the feather began to spread. Returned to the village. Elara hurried back to her village with the silver feather. When she arrived, she found that the feather's magic had already started to work. The snow began to melt, the crops revived, and a sense of warmth and renewal spread through the village. The villagers were overjoyed and amazed at the transformation. They celebrated Elara's bravery and kindness with a grand feast, and the once struggling village now thrived with abundance. Elara's family was immensely proud of her, and the village honored her as a true hero. The silver feather, having fulfilled its purpose, disappeared back into the magical forest, leaving behind a lasting legacy of hope and generosity. A lasting legacy. Years passed, and the story of Elara and the silver feather became a cherished tale told to children around the village. Elara continued to help others, her actions always guided by the selflessness that had brought the silver feather to her. The kingdom flourished, and the forest remained a place of magic and wonder. Elara's legacy was a reminder that the greatest treasures are found in the kindness and love we give to others. And so, the village lived in prosperity and harmony, and the legend of the silver feather lived on as a beacon of hope for all who heard it. The end. Once upon a time, in the heart of a dense forest, there was a hidden library known only to a few. This library was unlike any other. It was said to be enchanted, with books that could come to life and stories that could whisk readers away on magical adventures. The library was protected by an ancient spell, and only those with pure hearts and a thirst for knowledge could find it. The guardian of this magical library was an elderly librarian named Alaric. With a long silver beard and wise eyes, Alaric had spent his life ensuring that the library's secrets were kept safe. He loved the library dearly and took great care of its countless books and scrolls. One day, a curious and kind-hearted girl named Elara, who lived in a small village on the edge of the forest, stumbled upon a mysterious map. The map was old and worn, but it depicted the path to the hidden library. Elara had always loved stories and dreamed of finding a place where magical tales came to life. Driven by her curiosity, she decided to follow the map. As Elara ventured into the forest, she encountered various magical creatures, glowing fireflies, talking squirrels, and wise old owls, all guiding her along the path. After a long journey, she finally arrived at the hidden library, its towering shelves and ancient tomes shining with a soft, welcoming glow. The library's doors creaked open as Elara approached, revealing a vast interior filled with shelves of books that seemed to shimmer with enchantment. Elara was awestruck as she wandered through the library, marveling at the magical aura that surrounded her. Alaric, the librarian, noticed her and welcomed her with a warm smile. "Welcome, young one," he said in a gentle voice. "It is rare to see a visitor with a heart so full of wonder and curiosity. What brings you to our enchanted library?" Elara, her eyes wide with amazement, replied, "I found this map and followed it here. I've always dreamed of finding a place where stories come to life. Can you tell me more about this place?" Alaric nodded. "This library holds countless tales from across the realms, and some of them have a life of their own. But not everyone who enters can interact with the magic within these walls. It requires a special kind of bravery and kindness." Elara's eyes sparkled with excitement. "I want to learn more and experience the magic. What can I do?" Alaric smiled. "There is a special book in this library that has been waiting for someone like you. It is called the Book of Wonders. To find it, you must solve a riddle and demonstrate the qualities of a true hero." He handed Elara a golden key and said, "This key will open the door to the Book of Wonders, but first, you must solve this riddle. I have cities, but no houses. I have mountains, but no trees. I have water, but no fish. What am I?" Elara thought for a moment and then replied, "A map." "Very good," Alaric said. "Now, follow the path of the golden light to find the door. Use the key to unlock it." Elara followed the golden light that seemed to guide her through the library's endless corridors. She finally reached a large, ornate door with intricate carvings of mythical creatures. With a deep breath, she used the key to unlock it. The door opened to reveal a magnificent room bathed in a golden glow. In the center of the room stood the Book of Wonders, resting on a pedestal surrounded by a soft, shimmering light. Elara approached the book and opened it gently. As she did, the book's pages began to turn on their own, revealing stories of brave heroes, magical lands, and wondrous adventures. The room filled with the sounds of enchanting music, and images from the book came to life, swirling around Elara like a vivid dream. Suddenly, a voice echoed through the room. "Elara, you have shown great curiosity and bravery. The magic of this library is now yours to explore. But remember, true magic lies not just in the stories but in the heart of the reader." Elara spent hours exploring the magical tales, meeting mythical creatures, and embarking on incredible adventures. She realized that the real magic came from the power of imagination and the joy of discovering new worlds through stories. When Elara finally left the library, she felt a sense of fulfillment and wonder. Alaric bade her farewell with a knowing smile. "You have proven yourself worthy, Elara. The library will always be here for you, and its magic will be a part of you." As Elara returned to her village, she shared the tales and magic she had experienced with everyone. The library's enchantment continued to inspire and delight, and Elara's stories became legendary among the villagers. And so, the hidden library remained a beacon of wonder and imagination, waiting for the next curious soul to discover its magic and embark on a journey of their own. The end. Once upon a time, in a lush, green valley surrounded by towering mountains, there was a mystical forest known for its enchanting trees and sparkling streams. In the heart of this forest stood an ancient willow tree, called the Whispering Willow. The tree was known for its silver leaves that shimmered in the moonlight and its ability to communicate with those who listened closely. In a nearby village lived a young girl named Lila, who loved to explore the forest and listen to the songs of the woodland creatures. Her greatest fascination was the Whispering Willow, which she had heard about in the village tales. The tree was said to hold the wisdom of the ages and could grant a single wish to those who approached with a pure heart. One sunny morning, Lila's peaceful village was struck by a great misfortune. A terrible drought had swept across the land, withering the crops and drying up the streams. The villagers were worried and despondent, unable to find a solution to the crisis. Lila knew that the Whispering Willow might be able to help. So she decided to seek out the ancient tree and ask for its guidance. Armed with a small satchel of provisions and a heart full of hope, Lila ventured into the forest. As she walked, she marveled at the vibrant colors of the wildflowers and the songs of the birds, though her thoughts remained focused on the challenge ahead. The forest, usually welcoming, seemed more somber today, as if it too felt the weight of the drought. After several hours of walking, Lila arrived at the clearing where the whispering willow stood. Its majestic branches swayed gently in the breeze, and its silver leaves glistened like stars. Lila approached the tree with reverence and sat down at its base. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath, preparing to make her wish. "Great whispering willow," she said softly, "our village is suffering from a terrible drought. The land is dry, and our crops are failing. I have come to ask for your help. Please, show us a way to bring water back to our land." The whispering willow remained silent for a moment, its branches still and its leaves whispering only faintly. Then, a soft voice, like a gentle rustle of leaves, spoke from within the tree. "Lila, you have a pure heart, and your wish is noble. To restore the land, you must embark on a journey to find the source of the drought, a hidden spring that lies beyond the forest of echoes. There, you will find the answer you seek." Lila's eyes widened with both excitement and apprehension. The forest of echoes was known for its labyrinthine paths and the illusions it created to confuse travelers. But she knew she had to take on the challenge for the sake of her village. The next day, with the blessing of the whispering willow and a renewed sense of purpose, Lila set off toward the forest of echoes. The forest was dense and dark, with trees that seemed to twist and turn in strange patterns. Lila followed the guidance she had received from the willow, keeping her wits about her as she navigated the deceptive trails. As she ventured deeper into the forest, the echoes grew louder and more confusing. Voices seemed to call out from every direction, offering both encouragement and false paths. But Lila remembered the whispering willow's advice and focused on her goal, trusting her instincts. After what felt like hours of wandering, Lila stumbled upon a hidden grotto with a crystal-clear pool at its center. The water was shimmering with an ethereal light, and at the edge of the pool stood a small, intricately carved fountain. The fountain was covered in vines, and the water that flowed from it was dry and stagnant. Lila approached the fountain and noticed a plaque at its base. The plaque read, "To restore the flow, one must give from their own heart." Understanding the message, Lila took a deep breath and reached into her satchel. She pulled out a small silver locket that her grandmother had given her, a treasured family heirloom. With a heavy heart, she placed the locket on the fountain and closed her eyes, making a silent wish for the drought to end and the land to be healed. As she stepped back, the pool's water began to glow brighter, and the fountain started to flow once more. The water gushed forth with renewed vigor, and the ethereal light grew brighter, illuminating the grotto. The spring had been restored, and with it, the source of the drought was being addressed. Lila hurried back to her village, eager to share the good news. When she arrived, she found that the skies had begun to clear and dark, heavy clouds had gathered above, bringing much-needed rain. The villagers rejoiced as the rain nourished their crops and filled the streams. They marveled at Lila's bravery and the restoration of their land. Lila visited the whispering willow again to thank the tree for its guidance. The willow's branches swayed gently, and a soothing voice spoke to her once more. "You have shown great courage and selflessness, Lila. The drought has been lifted, and your village will prosper once more. Remember that the true magic lies not in the wish, but in the act of giving and the strength of your heart." Lila smiled and nodded, grateful for the wisdom she had gained. The village thrived, and the story of Lila's journey became a cherished legend. The whispering willow continued to stand as a symbol of hope and guidance, its echoes carrying messages of wisdom to those who sought its counsel. And so, the valley flourished, and the magic of the whispering willow lived on, reminding all who visited of the power of courage, kindness, and the enduring strength of a pure heart. The end. Once upon a time, in a picturesque kingdom nestled between towering mountains and lush green meadows, there was a magical garden known as the Enchanted Garden. This garden was famous for its vibrant flowers, sparkling streams, and, most notably, its beautiful melodies that played through the air. The melodies came from a hidden, mystical source and were said to bring joy and peace to all who heard them. The guardian of this garden was a gentle fairy named Lyra. Lyra had delicate wings that shimmered like stardust and a heart full of kindness. She spent her days tending to the flowers and ensuring the melodies continued to enchant the land. The source of the melodies was a magical harp, which had been in the garden for centuries. This harp was enchanted to play melodies that healed hearts and brought happiness. One sunny morning, as Lyra was tending to the roses, she noticed something troubling. The melodies of the harp had grown faint and distant, as if the music was fading away. Concerned, Lyra flew to the harp's resting place, a glimmering grotto at the heart of the garden. The harp was still there, but its strings were dull and silent. Lyra knew that without the harp's melodies, the enchanted garden would lose its magic and the kingdom's happiness would wane. Determined to restore the harp's music, Lyra decided to seek help from the wise creatures of the kingdom. Lyra's first stop was the great oak tree, an ancient and wise tree that had stood for centuries and was known for its deep knowledge. The tree's bark was thick and gnarled, and its branches stretched high into the sky. "Great oak tree," Lyra began, "the harp's melodies are fading, and I fear that the magic of the enchanted garden is in danger. Do you know what could have caused this?" The great oak tree's voice was a deep, rumbling whisper. "Long ago, the harp was blessed by the moon goddess. However, if the moon goddess's blessing is disturbed, the harp's magic will weaken. There is a legend that a fragment of the moon goddess's blessing was stolen by a mischievous sprite named Glint, who lives in the Darkwood Forest." Thankful for the information, Lyra set off towards the Darkwood Forest, a dense and shadowy forest known for its tricky paths and elusive creatures. The journey was not easy, as the forest was filled with fog and the trees seemed to move on their own. After navigating through the forest, Lyra finally encountered Glint, the sprite, who was known for his playful tricks and quick movements. Glint had sparkling eyes and a mischievous grin, and he was fluttering about with a small, glowing fragment in his hands. "Greetings, Glint," Lyra called out. "I've come to ask if you have a fragment of the moon goddess's blessing. The harp's melodies are fading, and I need your help to restore them." Glint's eyes widened with surprise. "Oh, that old fragment. I took it years ago out of curiosity. I didn't realize it would cause such trouble." Seeing Glint's genuine remorse, Lyra offered a kind smile. "I understand that curiosity can lead us astray. But the garden needs the fragment to restore the harp's magic. Will you help me return it?" Glint agreed, and the two set off together back to the enchanted garden. Along the way, Glint shared stories of his adventures and the wonders he had seen. His tales were captivating, and Lyra found herself enjoying his company despite his mischievous nature. When they arrived at the garden, Glint carefully placed the fragment back into the harp's magical grove. As soon as the fragment touched the harp, a soft, radiant light enveloped it, and the harp strings began to shimmer and vibrate. The melodies that had once been faint and distant now filled the air with their enchanting music, even more beautiful than before. The flowers bloomed with renewed vigor, and the garden seemed to come alive with joy. The kingdom's happiness was restored, and Lyra thanked Glint for his help. Glint, having learned the value of responsibility and the impact of his actions, apologized for his earlier mischief. Lyra forgave him and invited him to visit the enchanted garden anytime he wished. As a gesture of gratitude, Lyra and the creatures of the garden threw a grand celebration. The kingdom gathered to celebrate the return of the harp's music, and the enchanted garden was filled with laughter, dance, and joy. Glint, now a friend of the garden, joined in the festivities and shared his tales with the villagers. From that day on, the enchanted garden thrived with its magical melodies, and the kingdom remained a place of happiness and peace. Lyra continued to care for the garden, and Glint became a regular visitor, always welcomed with open arms. And so, the melody of the enchanted garden continued to echo through the kingdom, a reminder of the power of kindness, friendship, and the importance of restoring balance to the world. The end. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between lush, green hills, there was an old, forgotten castle. The villagers spoke of its ancient walls with a mixture of curiosity and reverence, for the castle was said to be enchanted, holding secrets of a hidden kingdom beyond anyone's imagination. In this village lived a kind-hearted girl named Lila. She was known for her adventurous spirit and her love for exploring the woods and hills around her home. One day, while wandering near the castle, Lila stumbled upon a peculiar object partially buried in the ground, a small, ornate key with intricate designs carved into it. The key shimmered with a soft, magical glow. Excited by her discovery, Lila took the key to the village elder, an old woman named Granny Aloan, who was known for her knowledge of the village's history and legends. Granny Aloan's eyes widened in surprise as she examined the key. "This is no ordinary key," Granny Aloan said, her voice filled with wonder. "Legend says that it belongs to the Hidden Kingdom, a magical realm that exists beyond the castle's walls. Only the one with a pure heart can unlock the gate to this kingdom." Determined to uncover the truth, Lila decided to follow the path the key had led her to. Early the next morning, she set off towards the old castle with the key clutched tightly in her hand. The castle was covered in ivy and appeared to have been abandoned for many years. As Lila approached, she noticed a hidden door covered in vines, which seemed to be waiting for the key. With a deep breath, Lila inserted the key into the lock and turned it. The door creaked open, revealing a spiral staircase leading downward into darkness. Lila hesitated for a moment, then bravely descended the stairs, her heart racing with excitement and curiosity. At the bottom of the staircase, Lila found herself in a vast, underground chamber illuminated by a soft, golden light. In the center of the chamber stood a grand, ancient door covered in dazzling gems and runes. The keyhole was shaped perfectly for the key Lila had found. She inserted the key and turned it slowly. The door swung open with a gentle sigh, revealing a breathtaking sight, a lush, vibrant kingdom filled with magical creatures and shimmering landscapes. The air was filled with the sweet scent of flowers, and the sky above was a swirl of soft, glowing colors. As Lila stepped into the hidden kingdom, she was greeted by a group of friendly creatures, a wise old unicorn named Arion, a mischievous fairy named Trixie, and a gentle giant named Brahm. They welcomed Lila with warm smiles and curious eyes. "Welcome, traveler," Arion said in a voice that resonated like a gentle melody. "We have been waiting for someone with a pure heart to discover our kingdom. The Hidden Kingdom has been in a deep slumber for many years, and it is said that only someone who truly believes in the magic of kindness and bravery can awaken it." Lila was amazed by the beauty and magic surrounding her. She learned that the Hidden Kingdom had been hidden away to protect its magic from those who would misuse it. The kingdom was now in need of a hero to restore its fading enchantments and bring joy back to its inhabitants. Arion explained that the kingdom had 4 magical artifacts, each representing an essential quality: courage, wisdom, kindness, and hope. These artifacts had been scattered across the kingdom and needed to be found and restored to their rightful places to awaken the full magic of the land. Determined to help, Lila embarked on a quest to retrieve the artifacts. Her first challenge took her to the Forest of Courage, where she faced a series of trials that tested her bravery. With the help of Trixie, who guided her through the forest and helped her solve riddles and overcome obstacles, Lila found the first artifact, a radiant shield symbolizing courage. Next, she journeyed to the Mountain of Wisdom, where she had to solve ancient puzzles and navigate treacherous paths. With Brahm's strength and guidance, Lila retrieved the second artifact, a glowing staff representing wisdom. For the third artifact, Lila traveled to the Valley of Kindness, where she helped various magical creatures in need, showing compassion and empathy. Her acts of kindness led her to the third artifact, a heart-shaped locket symbolizing kindness. Finally, Lila reached the Sky Temple, a floating palace high above the clouds, where the last artifact, a crystal orb representing hope, was hidden. The trials here tested her resolve and optimism. With unwavering hope and determination, Lila secured the final artifact. With all 4 artifacts in hand, Lila returned to the center of the Hidden Kingdom. Arion, Trixie, and Brahm gathered around her as she placed the artifacts on a grand, enchanted pedestal. As she did, the artifacts began to glow with a brilliant light, and the kingdom erupted in a dazzling display of magic. The enchantments of the Hidden Kingdom were fully restored, and the land flourished with renewed life and beauty. The magical creatures rejoiced, and the kingdom's vibrant colors and joyful melodies filled the air once more. Grateful for Lila's bravery and kindness, the inhabitants of the Hidden Kingdom invited her to stay and become their honored guest. However, Lila knew she had to return to her village. She promised to visit the Hidden Kingdom often and share its magic with her people. As she left the kingdom and climbed back up the stairs to the old castle, Lila looked back one last time and saw the Hidden Kingdom shimmering with a magical glow. She knew that the kingdom's magic would always be a part of her, and she was excited to share her incredible adventure with her village. Back in her village, Lila's story became a cherished legend, inspiring others to believe in the magic of kindness, courage, wisdom, and hope. The old castle was no longer just a forgotten relic, but a symbol of the incredible adventure that had brought magic and wonder to the land. And so, Lila continued to live her life with the values she had learned from her journey, spreading joy and magic wherever she went, and the Hidden Kingdom remained a place of wonder and enchantment, forever in the heart of those who believed in its magic. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. In a secluded corner of a lush, enchanted forest, there lay a serene, glistening lake known as Whispering Lake. The villagers of nearby Evergreen often spoke of the lake with a sense of awe and mystery. They believed that the lake had a magical secret and that its waters whispered ancient tales to those who listened closely. In Evergreen lived a curious and kind-hearted girl named Eloan. She had always been fascinated by the stories of Whispering Lake and dreamed of uncovering its hidden secrets. Her grandmother, who had shared many tales about the lake's magic, often told her that only someone with a pure heart and a brave spirit could uncover the lake's true mystery. One summer's evening, as the full moon bathed the forest in silvery light, Eloan decided to visit Whispering Lake. The path to the lake was winding and overgrown, but she walked with determination, guided by the soft, glowing light of fireflies. When she arrived at the lake, Eloan was mesmerized. The water sparkled like a field of stars, and a gentle, melodic whisper seemed to drift across the surface. She sat at the water's edge, listening intently, and soon noticed a shimmering figure rising from the lake. It was a beautiful water nymph named Seraphina. "Greetings, brave Eloan," Seraphina said with a voice like a gentle breeze. "I am Seraphina, guardian of Whispering Lake. You have come seeking the lake's secret, have you not?" Eloan nodded. "Yes, I have always wanted to know the truth behind the whispers." Seraphina's eyes twinkled with kindness. "To reveal the lake's secret, you must complete 3 tasks. Each task will test your courage, wisdom, and kindness." With a determined heart, Eloan accepted the challenge. Task 1, the Enchanted Puzzle. Seraphina led Eloan to a grove where a large, intricate puzzle was carved into the ground. The puzzle was a series of interlocking stones with ancient symbols. To solve it, Eloan had to place the stones in the correct order. As she examined the puzzle, Eloan realized that the symbols represented different virtues: courage, wisdom, kindness, and love. She arranged the stones with care, placing the symbol of kindness at the center. As the last stone clicked into place, the grove lit up with a warm, golden light, and the whispering became clearer. Task 2, the Lost Songbird. Next, Seraphina guided Eloan to a dense thicket where a small, injured songbird lay. The bird had a broken wing and was unable to fly. Eloan carefully tended to the bird, using her shawl to make a soft bed and soothing the bird with gentle words. As she nursed the bird back to health, a magical, calming aura surrounded her, and the lake's whispers grew stronger and more melodious. Once the bird was ready to fly again, it chirped a sweet, thankful melody before soaring into the sky. Task 3, the Heart of the Forest. The final task took Eloan deep into the heart of the forest, where she found a towering, ancient tree with a hollow trunk. Inside the hollow was a golden acorn, but it was guarded by a fierce, yet misunderstood, shadow creature. Eloan approached the creature with compassion rather than fear. She spoke softly to it, learning that the shadow creature was lonely and misunderstood. With empathy, she offered it some of the crumbs from her bread and shared her warmth. The creature's heart softened, and it allowed her to take the golden acorn. With all 3 tasks completed, Seraphina reappeared, smiling warmly. You have shown great courage, wisdom, and kindness. The secret of Whispering Lake is now yours to discover." Seraphina took the golden acorn from Eloan and placed it gently into the lake. The water shimmered and swirled, and from its depths emerged a magnificent, radiant pearl. The pearl was the source of the lake's whispers, holding the wisdom and stories of the forest and its inhabitants. "The true secret," Seraphina explained, "is that the lake's whispers are the collective wisdom and love of the forest, shared with those who seek to understand it with an open heart." Eloan felt a profound sense of connection with the forest and its magic. She thanked Seraphina and promised to honor the lake's secret by sharing its stories and helping others with the wisdom she had gained. As Eloan walked back to Evergreen, she carried with her the gentle whispers of the lake and the lessons of courage, kindness, and understanding. The villagers marveled at the new light in her eyes and the warmth in her heart. And so, the legend of Whispering Lake grew, not just as a place of magic, but as a reminder that true secrets are found in the acts of bravery, wisdom, and kindness. Eloan's story became a cherished tale in Evergreen, inspiring all who heard it to listen to the whispers of their own hearts. In the heart of a lush and magical forest, there lay a small village known as Starhaven. The villagers were renowned for their nightly tradition of stargazing, believing that the stars were alive and could speak to those who listened closely. They called this practice star whispering, and it was believed to bring guidance and wisdom. In this village lived a curious young girl named Lila. She had always been fascinated by the stars and spent many nights gazing up at the night sky. Lila's grandmother, who was known as the village's best star whisperer, had recently fallen ill, and the village was deeply concerned. Without her grandmother's guidance, the village felt lost, and the star whispers had become faint and unclear. One evening, as her grandmother lay resting, Lila decided to take matters into her own hands. She wanted to find out why the stars had gone silent and hoped to bring back their guiding voices. With determination, she packed a small bag with essentials, a blanket, a journal, and a lantern, and set out into the forest under the light of the full moon. Lila followed a winding path through the trees, guided by the faint glow of the lantern. As she walked, she noticed that the forest seemed quieter than usual, and the stars above were barely visible through the dense canopy of leaves. After hours of walking, she arrived at an ancient stone archway covered in glowing vines. The archway was said to be the entrance to the Celestial Grove, a hidden realm where the stars were said to originate. Taking a deep breath, Lila stepped through the archway and found herself in a breathtaking grove bathed in moonlight. The Celestial Grove was filled with luminescent flowers and trees that sparkled like stars. At the center of the grove stood a grand, ancient tree with silver leaves and a trunk that seemed to hum with a magical energy. As Lila approached the tree, she noticed a shimmering figure standing beside it, a celestial being with radiant wings and a gown made of stardust. The celestial being was known as Astria, the guardian of the stars. "Welcome, brave Lila," Astria said with a voice like a gentle breeze. "You have come seeking the voices of the stars." Lila nodded, her heart full of hope. "Yes, I want to help my village. The stars have gone silent, and my grandmother, who was the village's star whisperer, is ill. How can I bring back their guidance?" Astria's eyes sparkled with understanding. "The stars have grown silent because the balance between their realm and the mortal world has been disrupted. To restore their voices, you must undertake a journey to collect 3 stardust crystals that hold the essence of the stars. Only then can you restore their harmony." Lila listened intently. "Where can I find these crystals?" Astria pointed to 3 distinct locations in the grove. "The first crystal can be found at the Fountain of Dreams, the second at the Echoing Caves, and the third at the Peak of Light. Each place holds a challenge that you must overcome to obtain the crystal." With a determined spirit, Lila set off on her quest. Her first destination was the Fountain of Dreams, a magical spring filled with sparkling water. To obtain the crystal, Lila had to navigate a series of floating, glowing platforms. Using her agility and quick thinking, she leaped from platform to platform and retrieved the first crystal from the fountain center. Next, Lila journeyed to the Echoing Caves, where the walls shimmered with reflective surfaces. The challenge here was to solve a series of intricate puzzles that required her to use the echoes of her own voice. By listening carefully and solving the puzzles, Lila obtained the second Stardust Crystal. Finally, Lila made her way to the Peak of Light, a towering mountain that reached high into the sky. The climb was treacherous, but Lila's determination saw her through. At the peak, she faced a radiant guardian who tested her courage and kindness. After passing the guardian's test, Lila received the third and final crystal. With all 3 crystals in hand, Lila returned to the Celestial Grove. Astria took the crystals and combined their energies, creating a magnificent burst of stardust that filled the grove with a brilliant light. The stars above began to shine brightly once again, and their voices filled the night sky with soothing whispers. "Thank you, brave Lila," Astria said, her voice filled with gratitude. "You have restored the balance and brought back the guidance of the stars. Your village will now hear their whispers once more." Lila returned to her village, where the stars' guiding voices were clearer and more vibrant than ever. The villagers rejoiced, and Lila's grandmother soon began to recover, her wisdom and strength returning with the stars' guidance. From that day on, Lila continued to listen to the stars and share their wisdom with the village. Starhaven thrived, and the villagers always remembered the brave girl who had restored their starry voices. And so, under the guidance of the stars and the courage of a young heart, the village lived happily ever after. In a land far beyond the reach of ordinary maps, there existed an enchanted forest known as Eldergrove. This forest was unlike any other, with trees that whispered secrets, flowers that sang gentle lullabies, and streams that sparkled like liquid starlight. The heart of Eldergrove was the Whispering Tree, an ancient and wise tree said to be the source of the forest's magic. The Whispering Tree stood at the center of the forest, its branches stretching high into the sky and its roots deep into the earth. It had the power to grant wishes and solve the deepest of problems, but it could only do so if approached by someone pure of heart and noble in spirit. One day, a young girl named Lila lived in a village near the edge of Eldergrove. Lila was known throughout her village for her kindness and courage. She cared for sick animals, helped her neighbors, and always sought to bring a smile to those around her. Despite her caring nature, her life was not without difficulties. Her family was poor, and her village was plagued by a drought that threatened their crops and livelihoods. One evening, as Lila watched the sunset from her small home, she heard a faint, melodic whisper carried by the breeze. The whisper spoke of hope and magic in Eldergrove. Lila, intrigued and hopeful, decided that she would venture into the forest to seek help from the Whispering Tree. The next morning, armed with a small satchel of provisions and her unwavering hope, Lila set out on her journey. The path into Eldergrove was lush and vibrant, but as she ventured deeper, she encountered a series of challenges. The first was the River of Illusions, a shimmering stream that created mirages and false paths. Lila approached the river with caution. She remembered the stories of how to navigate illusions with clarity of mind and heart. She focused on her goal, to save her village, and with determination, she followed the true path revealed by her pure heart, crossing the river with ease. As she continued, Lila reached the Grove of Echoes, where the trees mimicked every sound and word spoken. She needed to pass through this grove to reach the Whispering Tree, but the echoes could easily lead her astray with confusing and contradictory advice. Remembering the lessons of patience and perseverance, Lila spoke only kind and reassuring words to herself and to the forest around her. Her steady heart and gentle voice guided her through the grove without falling into confusion. Finally, Lila arrived at the clearing where the Whispering Tree stood. Its presence was majestic and calming, its leaves rustling softly as if in conversation with the wind. Lila approached with reverence and spoke to the tree, "Great Whispering Tree, I come to you with a humble heart. My village suffers from a terrible drought, and our crops are failing. I seek your wisdom and aid to restore our land and bring prosperity back to our people." The Whispering Tree's branches swayed gently, and its leaves rustled as it listened to Lila's plea. After a moment of silence, the tree's deep voice resonated through the clearing. "Dear child, you have shown great courage and kindness on your journey. To restore balance to your land, you must first understand the true nature of abundance." The tree then shared a vision with Lila, a vision of a hidden spring deep within the forest, whose waters held the power to end the drought. However, the spring was guarded by a mystical guardian who required a special offering to reveal its location. Lila thanked the whispering tree and set off to find the hidden spring. Guided by the vision, she navigated through the forest's winding paths and eventually reached the guardian's domain, a lush and vibrant glade filled with radiant flowers and glowing creatures. The guardian of the spring was a graceful fairy named Amara. She hovered above a crystal-clear pool, her wings sparkling like morning dew. To gain access to the spring, Amara said, "You must offer something that represents your true self." Lila thought deeply about what she could offer. She remembered her grandmother's old pendant, a simple but cherished family heirloom that symbolized her love for her family and her commitment to helping others. With a heart full of sincerity, she offered the pendant to Amara. The fairy's eyes softened, and she accepted the gift with grace. "Your offering is a reflection of your heart," Amara said. "The spring shall reveal itself to you." With a wave of her wand, Amara revealed a hidden passage leading to the spring. The waters flowed abundantly, and Lila knew that this was the key to saving her village. She filled her canteen with the magical water and thanked Amara for her help. Returning to her village, Lila shared the water with her people. The magical spring's waters were poured into the parched fields, and soon, the crops began to flourish. The once dry land became lush and green, and the village celebrated the return of prosperity. The villagers marveled at the miracle and praised Lila for her bravery and determination. Though she never sought recognition, Lila's selflessness and courage became a beacon of hope for everyone. The village thrived, and the story of Lila's quest and the whispering tree became a cherished legend. In time, Eldergrove continued to thrive under the care of the whispering tree, and its magic remained a source of wonder and inspiration. Lila's tale was passed down through generations, a reminder of the power of kindness, courage, and the belief that even the smallest act of love could bring about the greatest change. And so, the enchanted forest and the village lived in harmony, their lives intertwined by the magic of the whispering tree and the heart of a brave young girl who dared to dream of a better world. The end. Once upon a time, in the heart of a kingdom surrounded by emerald forests and rolling hills, there was a village known as Moonlit Hollow. The village was famous for its tranquil beauty and the mysterious Midnight Garden, a hidden realm said to bloom only under the light of the full moon. The garden was rumored to possess magical properties, but it was a closely guarded secret, known only to a few. In this village lived a young girl named Arya, who was known for her boundless curiosity and kind heart. Arya had always been enchanted by the stories of the Midnight Garden, particularly one tale her grandmother had told her about a magical flower called the Moonblossom. This flower was said to grant a single wish to anyone who found it on the night of the full moon. As the next full moon approached, Arya's excitement grew, for she hoped to find the Moonblossom and use its magic to help her village, which had recently faced a series of misfortunes. On the eve of the full moon, Arya prepared for her quest. She donned a warm cloak, packed a small satchel with essentials, some bread, a flask of water, and a lantern, and set out towards the edge of the forest where the Midnight Garden was believed to lie. As the moonlight bathed the forest in a silvery glow, Arya followed a narrow, winding path that led her deeper into the woods. The air was filled with the sweet fragrance of night-blooming flowers, and the forest seemed to hum with a soft, magical energy. The path was lit by delicate fireflies that fluttered like tiny stars. After walking for some time, Arya came upon a grove where ancient trees formed a natural archway. At the center of the grove stood a gate made of intertwined vines and flowers, glowing faintly in the moonlight. Arya approached the gate with wonder, but it was locked and there was no visible keyhole. Suddenly, a soft, musical voice spoke from behind her. "To enter the Midnight Garden, you must first solve the riddle of the gate." Turning around, Arya saw a graceful, ethereal figure emerge from the shadows, a forest nymph with shimmering wings and a crown of flowers. "I am Leora, the guardian of the Midnight Garden," the nymph said with a smile. "If you wish to enter, you must answer my riddle." With her heart racing, Arya nodded. Leora began, "I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I? Arya thought for a moment. She remembered the tales and riddles her grandmother had shared with her. A joke, she replied confidently. Leora's eyes sparkled with approval. You have answered correctly. The gate shall open for you. The vine-covered gate slowly creaked open, revealing a breathtaking sight. The Midnight Garden was a realm of wonder, with moonlight casting an enchanting glow over a sea of flowers in every imaginable color. The garden was alive with magical creatures, glowing butterflies, singing nightingales, and dancing fireflies. At the heart of the garden stood a grand, ancient tree with silver leaves and a trunk that seemed to sparkle. Suspended from one of its branches was the moon blossom, a flower with petals that shimmered like liquid moonlight. Arya approached the moon blossom, her heart full of hope and determination. As she reached out to touch the flower, a gentle breeze rustled through the garden, and a soft voice spoke again. The moon blossom's magic is powerful, but its gift must be used wisely. What is your wish, dear child? Arya took a deep breath and thought about her village, which had suffered from poor harvests and a lack of resources. I wish for my village to be blessed with bountiful harvests and prosperity, she said earnestly. The moon blossom glowed even brighter, and its petals opened, releasing a shimmering mist that spread across the garden. The mist seemed to carry Arya's wish through the air, and as it settled, the garden's beauty intensified. The flowers bloomed more vibrantly, and a sense of peace and abundance filled the air. Arya thanked the moon blossom and Leora, and with the magic of the garden guiding her, she made her way back to her village. As she arrived, she was greeted with astonished joy. Fields that had once been barren were now lush and green. And the villagers were celebrating a bountiful harvest. The prosperity brought by the moon blossom transformed Moonlit Hollow. The villagers were able to rebuild their homes, support each other, and live in harmony. Arya's bravery and kindness had brought a new era of abundance to her village. The Midnight Garden remained a hidden treasure, visited only by those who sought its magic with pure intentions. And every full moon, Arya would look towards the garden with gratitude, knowing that her wish had brought lasting happiness to her people. And so, the legend of the Midnight Garden lived on, a beacon of hope and magic in the heart of the forest, reminding all who heard its tale of the power of a kind heart and the magic of selfless wishes. Once upon a time, in a distant land of misty mountains and deep forests, there was a kingdom called Eldoria. This kingdom was famed for its incredible beauty and peace, but it held a secret that no one knew. Deep within the heart of the kingdom was a hidden treasure that could bring prosperity and joy to the land. Only those with a special map could find it. The map was no ordinary piece of parchment, it was a living map that whispered secrets and clues to its bearer. It had been passed down through generations, but no one had managed to decode its mysteries. The kingdom's wise ruler, King Cedric, hoped to find the treasure before it was too late. He had a daughter, Princess Emilia, who was known for her bravery and intelligence. One evening, while exploring the castle's ancient library, Emilia stumbled upon an old chest covered in dust. Inside, she discovered the Whispering Map, which had been forgotten over the years. As she held it, the map began to glow faintly and whisper softly in her ear. Intrigued, Emilia decided to unravel its secrets. The next morning, Emilia showed the map to her father. King Cedric was excited but concerned. The map's clues have been a mystery for generations, he said. If anyone can solve them, it is you, Emilia. But be careful, for the path may be fraught with challenges. With her father's blessing, Emilia set out on her quest. The Whispering Map's first clue led her to the Whispering Woods, a forest known for its mysterious and enchanting creatures. The map guided her through winding paths and hidden trails until she reached an ancient oak tree. Under the tree, Emilia found an inscription that read, "To find the next clue, seek the creature of light whose song brightens the darkest night." Emilia pondered the inscription and realized that the clue referred to a mythical creature known as the Lumina bird. This bird was said to have feathers that glowed like stars and a song that could chase away darkness. She followed the map's directions to the Moonlit Meadow, a place where the Lumina bird was rumored to appear. As night fell and the meadow was bathed in moonlight, Amelia heard a melodious song that filled the air. She followed the sound and saw the Lumina bird perched on a high branch, its feathers shimmering with a soft, celestial light. "Lumina bird," Amelia called softly, "I seek the next clue to find the hidden treasure of Eldoria. Can you help me?" The Lumina bird fluttered down and chirped a sweet melody. As it sang, a hidden compartment in the tree opened, revealing a glowing crystal. The crystal had another inscription: "In the valley of the moon, where shadows dance, seek the guardian of dreams to find the next chance." With the crystal's guidance, Amelia traveled to the Valley of Shadows, a place where moonlight created eerie and beautiful illusions. In the heart of the valley, she found a shimmering pool where the reflections of the moon created strange patterns. Beside the pool stood a figure cloaked in silver, a guardian known as the Dream Weaver. The Dream Weaver, with eyes that glowed like stars, welcomed Amelia. "To continue your quest," the Dream Weaver said, "you must solve the riddle of dreams. Only then will the path be revealed." The Dream Weaver posed a riddle, and Amelia, using her sharp mind and intuition, solved it correctly. The Dream Weaver smiled and handed Amelia a silver key. "This key will unlock the final clue. It is hidden in the Castle of the Forgotten." Amelia thanked the Dream Weaver and made her way to the Castle of the Forgotten, an ancient ruin hidden deep in the mountains. The castle was shrouded in mist and shadows, its walls covered in ivy. With the silver key, Amelia unlocked a hidden door and entered a secret chamber. Inside the chamber was a magnificent chest encrusted with jewels. The whispering map glowed brightly as Amelia approached, and it whispered the final instructions: to reveal the treasure, place the crystal in the chest and say the words of truth. Amelia followed the instructions and placed the crystal inside the chest. She spoke the words of truth, which she had learned from her journey: "With courage, wisdom, and a heart of light, I seek the treasure that will make things right." The chest opened with a soft glow, and inside, Amelia found a beautiful, ancient artifact, a golden crown adorned with gems. The crown radiated warmth and light, and Amelia knew it was the treasure that had been lost for so long. With the crown in hand, Amelia returned to Eldoria. The kingdom celebrated her triumphant return, and the crown was placed in the royal hall. It brought prosperity and joy to the land, and the whispering map was displayed as a symbol of hope and adventure. Princess Amelia's bravery and intelligence had not only uncovered the hidden treasure but had also strengthened the bonds of her kingdom. The people of Eldoria cherished the story of her quest, and the whispering map became a treasured relic, a reminder of the magic and wonder that lay within their land. And so, the tale of the whispering map and the lost kingdom was told for generations, inspiring all who heard it to seek their own adventures and to believe in the magic that lies within every quest. And thus, the story of Amelia and the whispering map became a cherished legend, a testament to courage, wisdom, and the enduring power of adventure. Once upon a time, in a land where rolling hills met lush forests, there was a village named Silverwood. Silverwood was renowned for its beauty and tranquility, nestled in a valley surrounded by sparkling streams and tall, ancient trees. But one day, a mysterious fog descended upon the village, causing it to vanish from sight, leaving only an empty, silent landscape where it once stood. In a neighboring village, young Eliza lived with her grandmother. Eliza was known for her kindness and curiosity. One afternoon, while exploring her grandmother's attic, Eliza found an old, dusty chest. Inside, she discovered a beautiful pendant that shimmered with an otherworldly light. The pendant was shaped like a crescent moon with a sparkling gem at its center. Intrigued, Eliza showed the pendant to her grandmother. Her grandmother's eyes widened with recognition. "This pendant belonged to the last guardian of Silverwood," she said. "It is said to hold the power to find the lost village, but no one knows how to unlock its magic." Determined to help the villagers, Eliza decided to uncover the pendant's secrets. She set out on a journey to find Silverwood, guided only by the pendant's soft glow. As she ventured into the forest, the pendant's light grew brighter, leading her deeper into the woods. After walking for hours, Eliza came across a clearing with a large, ancient oak tree. At the base of the tree was a stone pedestal with intricate carvings. The pendant's light flickered as if it were responding to something. Eliza approached the pedestal and saw an inscription: "To reveal the hidden village, follow the light of the moon and seek the keeper of dreams." Eliza looked up at the sky and saw that the moon was full, casting a silvery light over the forest. She followed the moonlight until she reached a serene, moonlit glade. In the center of the glade was a small, crystal-clear pond that reflected the moon's light like a mirror. As Eliza gazed into the pond, a gentle voice spoke from the water. "I am Luna, the keeper of dreams. To find Silverwood, you must solve the riddle of the moon and show a heart full of courage." Luna's reflection shimmered and began to recite a riddle. "In the heart of the night where shadows play, find the path where moonbeams stray. There lies the key to the village lost, but beware of the frost that guards the cost." Eliza pondered the riddle and realized it referred to a hidden path illuminated by moonlight. She searched the glade and noticed a faint, glowing trail leading into the forest. Following the trail, she soon found herself at the entrance to a cave covered in shimmering frost. The cave was cold and dark, but Eliza pressed on, guided by the pendant's warm glow. Inside, she discovered a large chamber with walls of sparkling ice. At the center of the chamber stood a tall, silver mirror surrounded by delicate frost flowers. As Eliza approached the mirror, she saw her reflection, but something was different. The reflection showed her standing in a vibrant, lush village. The mirror began to speak. "To reveal the lost village, you must reflect its essence. Speak with truth and heart." Eliza took a deep breath and spoke to her reflection. "I seek Silverwood to restore its magic and bring its beauty back to the world. I believe in the power of kindness and courage." The mirror's surface rippled and shimmered, revealing a hidden passage behind it. The passage led Eliza through a series of twisting tunnels until she emerged into a breathtakingly beautiful village. It was Silverwood, restored to its former glory, its buildings adorned with glowing lanterns and its streets lined with vibrant flowers. The villagers of Silverwood welcomed Eliza with joy and gratitude. They explained that the fog that had hidden their village was a spell cast by an envious sorcerer who wanted the village's magic for himself. The pendant had the power to break the spell and reveal the village, but it required someone with a pure heart to unlock its magic. Eliza's bravery and determination had broken the spell and restored the village. The villagers celebrated with a grand feast, and the pendant was honored as a symbol of their return. Eliza was hailed as a hero, and she was invited to stay in Silverwood as a beloved guest. As the celebration continued, Luna's voice echoed softly in the night sky. "You have shown that true courage and kindness can overcome even the darkest of spells. The magic of Silverwood will always shine brightly, thanks to you." Eliza returned to her grandmother's village, sharing the tale of her adventure and the lessons she had learned. The story of the enchanted pendant and the lost village became a cherished legend, inspiring others to seek out their own adventures and to believe in the power of kindness and courage. And so, the tale of Eliza and the enchanted pendant was told for generations, a reminder that even in the face of adversity, a heart full of bravery and love could restore magic and bring light to the darkest of times. And thus, the story of Eliza and the Lost Village became a timeless legend, a beacon of hope and a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. Once upon a time, in a distant kingdom known as Astral Haven, the skies were always clear and the stars glittered like diamonds. The people of Astral Haven were enchanted by the night sky and believed that the stars held secrets and wisdom beyond their reach. At the heart of this kingdom lived a young girl named Lyra. Lyra was fascinated by the stars and dreamed of uncovering their mysteries. She often gazed at them through her telescope, which was a cherished gift from her grandmother. The villagers admired Lyra for her curiosity, but many were skeptical of her belief that the stars could communicate with those who understood their language. One night, as Lyra observed the sky, she noticed a particularly bright star twinkling with an unusual intensity. It seemed to pulse with a rhythm, almost as if it was trying to send a message. Her heart raced with excitement. Lyra believed that this star was trying to tell her something important. As the harvest moon rose, casting a silver light over Astral Haven, Lyra made a decision. She would set out to uncover the secret of this star and discover what it had to say. Armed with a lantern, her telescope, and a notebook, she ventured out into the countryside, heading towards the Whispering Woods, where it was said that stars sometimes descended to speak with those who were truly devoted to their mysteries. The Whispering Woods were known for their enchanting beauty but also for their magical, shifting paths. The trees had an ethereal glow, and their leaves rustled with soft whispers. Lyra followed a path that seemed to shimmer with starlight, guided by her intuition and the rhythmic twinkling of the star. After walking for some time, Lyra reached a secluded glade bathed in moonlight. In the center of the glade stood an ancient oak tree with silver leaves that glistened like stars. Beneath the tree was a small stone altar, and on the altar lay a delicate, sparkling crystal. As Lyra approached the altar, the stars she had followed seemed to descend from the sky and hover above the crystal. The air around her shimmered, and she could hear a soft, melodic voice. "Welcome, Lyra," the voice said. "You have come to seek the truth of the stars. To understand our message, you must first prove your heart's worthiness." A series of constellations appeared in the sky, forming a celestial puzzle that Lyra needed to solve. Each constellation represented a different virtue: courage, wisdom, kindness, and hope. Lyra realized that solving the puzzle required not only intelligence but also understanding the essence of each virtue. Lyra began with the constellation of courage. She remembered a story her grandmother had told her about a knight who faced fear with bravery. With determination, Lyra identified the patterns in the constellation and solved the first part of the puzzle. Next was the constellation of wisdom. Lyra thought about the knowledge she had gained from studying the stars and the lessons she had learned from her experiences. She carefully deciphered the symbols and solved the second part of the puzzle. The constellation of kindness followed. Lyra reflected on the acts of kindness she had witnessed and performed. With a compassionate heart, she solved the third part of the puzzle. Finally, Lyra faced the constellation of hope. She thought about her dreams and the belief she held in the goodness of people and the world. With a hopeful spirit, she completed the final part of the puzzle. As Lyra solved the last constellation, the ancient oak tree began to glow with a warm, golden light. The crystal on the altar sparkled and emitted a soft hum. The voice spoke again, "You have proven your heart's worthiness. Now, you shall receive the star's gift." The crystal floated up and transformed into a radiant star-shaped pendant. The pendant glowed with the same light as the star Lyra had followed. The voice continued, "This pendant holds the wisdom of the stars. Wear it with a pure heart, and it will guide you in times of need." Lyra took the pendant with gratitude and felt its warmth. The ancient oak tree's glow faded, and the constellations in the sky realigned to show the path back to Astral Haven. With the pendant safely around her neck, Lyra made her way home, guided by the celestial light. When she returned to the village, Lyra shared her experience with the townsfolk. She spoke of the virtues she had learned and the wisdom she had gained. The villagers were amazed and inspired by her story. The pendant's magic brought a sense of unity and purpose to the community, reminding them of the virtues that bound them together. Lyra used the pendant's guidance to help others and foster hope and understanding in Astral Haven. The star's wisdom became a beacon for the village, and Lyra's tale of courage, wisdom, kindness, and hope was passed down through generations. And so, the kingdom of Astral Haven thrived, illuminated by the light of the stars and the virtues they represented. The stars continued to twinkle in the night sky, whispering their secrets to those who listened with pure hearts. Once upon a time, in a quaint village named Willowbrook, nestled between lush green hills and a sparkling river, there stood an ancient willow tree by the riverbank. The villagers called it the Whispering Willow because it was said to speak to those who truly listened. This magical tree was rumored to hold the secrets of the land and the wisdom of ages past. In Willowbrook lived a kind-hearted girl named Isla. She had always been fascinated by the Whispering Willow and its mysterious whispers. Her grandmother, who was the village healer, often spoke of how the tree had guided their ancestors through times of need. Isla longed to hear the whispers herself and discover the secrets the tree held. One summer evening, as the sky turned shades of pink and gold, Isla decided to visit the Whispering Willow. She walked along the river, her heart full of curiosity and wonder. When she reached the willow, its long, graceful branches swayed gently, as if beckoning her closer. Isla settled down beneath the tree and closed her eyes, listening to the soft rustling of the leaves. She had heard that the tree spoke only to those who were patient and had a pure heart. She focused on her breath, letting go of her thoughts, and soon began to hear a faint, melodious voice. "Welcome, Isla," the voice said. "I have been waiting for you. To reveal the secrets you seek, you must first understand the true nature of your heart." Isla opened her eyes and saw a golden light shimmering through the branches. The whispering willow continued, "In this land, there is a hidden treasure, one that holds the power to bring joy and healing. But to find it, you must embark on a journey of self-discovery and kindness." Intrigued and excited, Isla asked, "Where can I find this treasure, and what must I do?" The whispering willow rustled its leaves thoughtfully. "To find the treasure, you must follow the path of the stars. 3 tasks await you. Complete them with a selfless heart, and the treasure will be revealed." With renewed determination, Isla set off on her journey. That night, the sky was filled with stars, and she followed their twinkling guidance into the forest. The first task led her to a small village within the forest where the inhabitants were a family of talking rabbits. The rabbits were distressed because their home had been flooded, and they were unable to repair it. Isla approached the rabbits with compassion and offered her help. She worked alongside them, gathering twigs and leaves to build a new shelter. The rabbits were grateful and, as a token of their appreciation, gave Isla a tiny, sparkling key. "The key will guide you," the eldest rabbit said. "But only if you continue to act with kindness." Isla thanked the rabbits and continued on her way. The second task took her to a hidden glade where a wise old fox with a mane of silver fur awaited her. The fox's home was surrounded by thorny brambles, which kept it from accessing the fresh water it needed. Without hesitation, Isla used the tiny key she had received to unlock a small, enchanted pouch she had found earlier in the glade. From it, she pulled out a shimmering thread and wove it through the brambles, magically clearing a path to the water. The old fox, who was very pleased, gifted Isla a beautiful, intricate locket. "This locket will protect you and guide you on your journey," the fox said. With the locket in hand, Isla set off for the final task. The last challenge led her to a tranquil meadow where a magnificent stag with antlers like branches of a tree stood waiting. The stag was surrounded by a ring of darkness that had crept into the meadow. Isla approached the stag and used the locket to dispel the darkness, which shimmered and vanished with the light of the locket. The meadow was bathed in a warm, golden glow, and the stag, grateful, shared the final clue. "The treasure you seek lies within your heart," the stag said. "Return to the whispering willow, and the treasure will be revealed." With the final task completed, Isla hurried back to the riverbank. The whispering willow's branches seemed to glow with anticipation as she approached. The tree's voice spoke again, "You have completed the tasks with kindness and courage. The treasure is now yours to reveal." As Isla reached out to touch the base of the willow, the ground beneath it began to shimmer. Slowly, a hidden compartment emerged, revealing a beautiful chest. Isla opened it to find a radiant, glowing orb that pulsed with the soft light of the stars. The whispering willow's voice filled the air. "This orb holds the power to bring joy and healing to those in need. Use it wisely, and let it be a beacon of hope for all." Isla took the orb back to Willowbrook, where it quickly became a source of inspiration and healing for the villagers. The light from the orb brought prosperity and happiness, and the village thrived under its gentle glow. The tale of Isla and the Whispering Willow became a cherished story, passed down through generations. It reminded the villagers of the power of kindness, selflessness, and the magic that lies within their own hearts. And so, Willowbrook flourished with joy and harmony, forever touched by the magic of the Whispering Willow. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a peaceful kingdom bordered by lush meadows and towering mountains, there was a quaint village named Starling. The villagers cherished their tranquil life, but they held a secret hope for something magical. They believed in an ancient legend about a mystical artifact called the Silver Bell, which was said to grant one wish to whoever rang it under the Starry River's light. The Starry River was a shimmering stream that flowed through the kingdom, known for its beautiful starlight reflections. Every year, during the harvest moon, the river would glow with a radiant light, guiding those who sought the silver bell. In this village lived a kind-hearted young girl named Elara. She had heard the legend of the silver bell and was fascinated by the tales of its magic. Elara's family was struggling, and her only wish was to find a way to bring prosperity and happiness to her loved ones. Determined to make her wish come true, she decided to embark on a quest to find the silver bell. The quest begins on the night of the harvest moon. Elara set off towards the starry river. As she walked through the moonlit meadows, the stars above seemed to sparkle brighter, guiding her way. The air was crisp, and the gentle sound of the flowing river filled her with hope. When Elara reached the starry river, she was mesmerized by the way its waters glowed with starlight. The river seemed to stretch endlessly, and she could see reflections of countless stars dancing on its surface. At the edge of the river, she noticed an old wooden bridge leading to a small, mystical island in the middle of the river. The enchanted bridge. Elara crossed the bridge with care, and as she approached the island, she encountered a wise old turtle named Tiberius. Tiberius had a calm and knowing demeanor and greeted Elara with a warm smile. To find the silver bell, he said, you must complete 3 tasks. Only those with a pure heart and true intentions can succeed. The first task, the enchanted garden. Tiberius directed Elara to an enchanted garden on the island. The garden was filled with beautiful flowers, but they were wilting and losing their color. Elara noticed that the flowers needed water from the crystal fountain, which was hidden in the garden. Elara searched the garden and found the fountain covered in vines. She carefully cleared the vines and filled her small bottle with the sparkling water. As she watered the flowers, they began to bloom and regain their vibrant colors. The garden was soon filled with fragrant blossoms, and a golden path appeared leading her to the next task. The second task, the mysterious maze. Elara followed the golden path to a labyrinthine maze. The walls of the maze were covered in ivy, and the entrance was marked with a riddle: I have cities but no houses, forests but no trees, and rivers but no water. What am I? Elara thought hard and realized the answer was map. With the answer in mind, the maze's walls began to shift and open up, revealing a clear path through. Elara navigated through the maze with patience and careful observation, arriving at the exit. The third task, the heart of the forest. The final task led Elara to the heart of the forest, where an ancient oak tree stood with a hollow at its base. Inside the hollow was a small, golden key. Tiberius appeared and explained, this key unlocks the chest where the silver bell rests, but it can only be found with a heart full of kindness. Elara held the key and reflected on her journey. She thought about how her kindness and determination had helped her complete the tasks. With a heart full of hope and love for her family, she approached a stone pedestal with a chest on it. The silver bell. Elara used the key to unlock the chest, and inside, she found the silver bell, shimmering with a soft, silvery light. She carefully took the bell and rang it gently. The sound was clear and melodious, echoing through the night and across the river. As the bell rang, a magical glow spread across the starry river, and the reflections of the stars grew brighter. The forest around her seemed to come alive with color and light. Tiberius appeared and congratulated her. You have shown great heart and perseverance. Your wish for prosperity and happiness will be granted. The return to Starling. Elara returned to her village with the silver bell. The once dim and struggling village was transformed by the bell's magic. The fields flourished with crops, the village homes became warm and inviting, and the people were filled with joy and laughter. Elara's family was overjoyed, and the villagers celebrated with a grand feast. The story of Elara and the silver bell became a cherished tale in Starling, a reminder that with kindness and determination, even the most magical wishes could come true. And so, the silver bell continued to shine brightly, symbolizing hope and the power of a kind heart. The starry river remained a place of wonder, and Elara's story lived on, inspiring future generations to seek their own adventures and embrace the magic within their hearts. The end. Once upon a time, in a world where magic and wonder intertwined, there was a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and lush forests. The villagers spoke of a hidden kingdom that once shone as brightly as the stars but had vanished from sight many years ago. Legend said that the kingdom could only be found by someone pure of heart and guided by a magical bridge of stardust that appeared only once every 100 years. In this village lived a kind-hearted young girl named Elara. She had always been fascinated by the tales of the lost kingdom, dreaming of seeing it with her own eyes. She was known for her generosity, helping anyone in need, and her ability to calm even the most troubled souls with her gentle words. One evening, as the sun set and the sky turned a deep shade of purple, Elara saw something incredible. High above, where the sky met the stars, a shimmering bridge made entirely of stardust began to form. It was ethereal and radiant, stretching from the heavens to the earth. Elara knew this was the magical bridge from the legends. Without hesitation, she decided to follow it, her heart full of hope and excitement. As she stepped onto the bridge, it sparkled beneath her feet, and the stars seemed to whisper encouragement. The journey was mesmerizing, with constellations guiding her way and galaxies twinkling like precious jewels. As she traveled along the Stardust Bridge, Elara noticed that the world below seemed to blur and transform. She floated past ancient trees, past mountains, and over vast oceans, until finally, she arrived at the entrance of a magnificent kingdom. The Lost Kingdom was unlike anything Elara had ever seen. It was a realm of shimmering towers, lush gardens, and crystal-clear lakes. The air was filled with the sweet fragrance of blooming flowers, and the sky above was perpetually bathed in the soft glow of twilight. But despite its beauty, the kingdom seemed eerily quiet, as if it were waiting for something. Elara ventured deeper into the kingdom, discovering that it was inhabited by magical creatures who had once lived in harmony. There were graceful unicorns, wise talking owls, and playful fairies, all of whom were now trapped in a deep slumber, under a spell of eternal sleep. At the heart of the kingdom stood a grand palace with a large, ornate door. Elara approached it, her heart pounding with anticipation. She gently pushed the door open and stepped into the grand hall, where an old, magnificent tree stood at the center. Its branches were adorned with glowing fruits that cast a soft light over the room. At the base of the tree lay a crystal-clear pool, and in its reflection, Elara saw a vision of the kingdom's former glory. The tree, she realized, was the source of the kingdom's magic and life. However, it had withered and lost its magic, and so had the entire kingdom. Elara knew that to restore the kingdom, she had to renew the magic of the tree. But the vision in the pool showed her that the key to reviving the magic was to retrieve a rare star flower that only bloomed on the highest peak of the Stardust Bridge. Determined, Elara climbed back onto the bridge and journeyed to the highest point, where she found the star flower glowing softly among the stardust. She gently picked the flower, feeling its warmth and energy infuse her being. Returning to the kingdom, Elara approached the grand tree with the star flower in hand. As she placed the flower at the base of the tree, its magic began to awaken. The tree's branches stirred, its leaves shimmered, and the once dull fruit glowed brightly. The palace and the kingdom slowly came back to life, as the magical creatures began to stir from their slumber. The creatures awoke and gathered around Elara, their eyes filled with gratitude. The unicorns pranced joyfully, the fairies danced in the air, and the talking owls hooted in delight. The kingdom was revived, more beautiful than ever before. The king and queen of the kingdom, who had been transformed into statues, came to life and thanked Elara for her bravery and kindness. "You have restored our home and revived our magic," said the queen, her eyes sparkling with tears of joy. "We are forever grateful." Elara was honored with a grand celebration, and the magical creatures of the kingdom shared their stories and knowledge with her. As a token of their appreciation, they gifted Elara a pendant containing a piece of the Stardust Bridge, ensuring that she could visit them whenever she wished. With a heart full of happiness and new friendships, Elara returned to her village. The tale of her adventure became a legend, inspiring others to believe in the magic of kindness and courage. And so, the Stardust Bridge remained a beacon of hope, connecting the worlds of magic and reality. Elara's bravery and compassion had not only restored a lost kingdom but had also reminded everyone that even the smallest acts of kindness could lead to the greatest adventures.